Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Sorry, I have a few hours, not a few hours, a few minutes to kill before Mike and Jose get here and we start filming our next episode. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd do a quick unboxing for you. This is what I just got recently from our local hangout, Retro Rare Collectibles. This is the Captain Phasma 2016 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Gentle Giant minibus, and it's really cool. Now, truth be told, I wasn't really looking for this this minibus because there's certain things about it I think they could have improved on. But Sandy got one in at a really good price. Only cost me $100, and these are usually about $180 by the time it's all said and done. And like I said, it's very limited edition. Only there was 1,200 made in total, and mine is number 674 out of 1,200. So I thought I'd just open this up here, give you a quick look at it. And oh, hey, oh, looks like Davey fell into the sink. Right there. Okay, whatever. Gotta watch him there. He's always trying to. Okay, here we go. Here. Okay. So, put that over here. Just try and get this open here. Give you a quick look. Now this is a really nice piece. The detail is excellent. It's spectacular. The only problem I have with it now, first of all, here's the certificate of authenticity. Here you can see that it gives you the limited edition number on it. You've seen these before, and it's all wrapped in plastic there. Say he, but it's actually a she, isn't it? Captain Phasma was a she. And there it is. Yeah, like I said, it's very nice. I love the detail, as I've indicated before. Made with the latest 3D printing technology, so the detail is excellent. The only problem I have with it is, if you see the movie, you'll know that Captain Phasma definitely has a more metallic silver finish in the real film. It's like a chrome finish, and for whatever reason, Gentle Giant decided to go with the flat, or it's not really a flat, but it's a semi-gloss silver, which definitely isn't movie accurate. And you know, when you're making a limited edition detailed figurine or bust this close to accurate, I don't think it would have been much of a stretch for you know, Gentle Giant to go that extra mile and just add the chroming to the helmet and to the armor. But for whatever reason, they decided to go with you know, the flat finish, which you know, it's fine, it's cool. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but you know, I certainly think that it probably would have looked better if they'd gone you know, full tilt and did the whole movie accurate thing. But like I said, normally they're about $180 when they come into Canada plus tax. This one Sandy got for me for you know, 100. So you know, what the hell? It's only $100, and it's still a beautiful, you know, figurine regardless. Definitely one of my lesser favorite pieces I've got so far, but still a nice piece, and I'm certainly glad I got it. And for the price, hell, you can't go wrong. So yeah, anyway, that's all. I'm just going to show you that quickly. And like I said, Mike and Jose will be here shortly. So I'm going to go over there and get set up. So when they do show, we'll be ready to show you some really great books. Okay, so at the top of the batting order tonight, we got Big Mike, Eagle-Eyed Oog, and he's got a really nice copy of Batman 274. Wow, Mike, this is a really, and it is a pristine copy as far as I can tell.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, I give it about an 8, which is maybe a VF. Again, what comes up in front of you and stuff like this, homeboy here, the Bank of Knowledge called me up and said our favorite local haunt had some stuff that he was selling on consignment, and there were Batmans in Action Comics, so I went through, grabbed a few that I did not have. I do have about well, adding with these ones now, about 26 of these bats. Usually a little higher grade, but I was happy to grab these at these great prices because it's a two-bagger.
Yeah, you got this last weekend at Retro Rare Collectibles. Actually,
Yeah.
so for the first time in a while, I didn't go there with you guys. I had prior obligations, so I didn't get there. But it is a really nice copy, that's for sure.
You know, you're talking 1976, Ermi Chan, Tatiana Wood, and between the 200 and 300 series, a lot of single appearances and stuff like this.
This is one of those issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the first and single appearance of Amba Kadiri. Yeah, she's the sexy woman there, kind of like a artificial steel-like cheetah clone. She's got steel fingertips and she's shredding the Dark Knight there on the cover. Very sexy cover, nice black cover. You can really tell the wear on it, and you're right on grade. I think that's a solid VF all day long. These 30-cent covers are being appreciated more and more. Books that are about 40 years old, if you can get them above a VF, man, and at those prices, this is a good pickup. Bargain bin pickup, but for a great cover.
Cool,
Nice.
cool.
10.50 versus 21 and a quarter all day long.
And here I am sharing the wealth. I mean, you kind of snagged this one from under me. I think you like.
You were gonna snag this one.
Yeah,
weren't you?
but I think that made the decision very clear for you, and yeah, it forced you just to pick it up and like, that one's
Yeah,
mine.
$14 for a
Damn you.
a run 30-cent Batman cover. You can't go wrong.
That's Canadian.
Yeah, you know-
10.50.
yeah.
Well, with a
Yeah.
great sex appeal, man, it sells, man. That's
there
a
a-
great sex appeal cover to that cover.
Another book underneath there, Mike.
Oh, there's another one, and that would be the very next one.
Another retro rare
Here's
pickup
the
there.
thing that, I wanted to mention now. We talked about this, and I just want to show it.
Okay, yeah.
There's a little red, blue, whatever
It's a
printing error.
It's a production kind of. Remember, these things were sent to these big kind of printers, like printed newspapers, magazines, and other things. And sometimes, if they were off just by a little bit, I mean, they had to be calibrated just so you'd get these production flaws, some ink bleed, some things from the printing. I mean, to what extent the manifest of that thing is in that particular issue will determine how harshly will be punished. And but what that I mean is, if this was more or less prevalent in the entire run, let's say more than 3/4, something like that, then maybe it won't be judged as harshly and get a higher grade, and the market will not deviate much from a certain range. However, if it's under half or even a minute few, well, then they're going to be judged more harshly, may not get the higher grades, and in the marketplace not perform as well as clean, pristine copies if that's the more prevalent state of that book. So that's something to keep in mind.
Exactly, because when you get really close up, and you can do a close up, it looks like it's bleeding through at the top because of the red paint.
Yeah, but if
goes
you...
across the top. Now I'm going to keep my eye open for this at the cons to see how many.
But it's in pristine
Exactly
condition
what
as
you-
far as...
Otherwise, you know, it doesn't demand much from the eye appeal.
I kind of dropped it down to a 9. So calling it a 9, which is near mint.
VF near mint, yeah.
Yeah, okay, converted into US bucks, paid $18.75, still worth about $23.75, and that's May 76. That's again the same two as I'd mentioned before. Same artists were doing this little bit of a run.
Ernie Chan again?
Ernie Chan and Tatiana Wood.
Yeah.
Again, 4 more single appearances. What can I say, man? I had to grab it.
Hey, you got him defending the goal line there again. These badasses on motorcycles, man. That's a kind of cool action cover.
I kind
Like
of
it.
have a lot of these bats between 200 and 3, so.
Nice pickup.
Oh, just screwed up. Sorry. Thanks. Nice books, Mike. Thanks for bringing them in.
Oopsie.
And while we're on the topic for Batman, as I'm sure we're all aware by now,
Sadly aware, yes.
yeah, we lost a really great actor this week, an iconic actor in my opinion, Adam West, the original, and to me, the quintessential Batman.
Well, I can see a lot of people quibbling considering the movies and the caliber of actors that have played the Dark Knight over the years. But I think when you consider of all time, yeah, I think you could put him in the top 2 or 3 of actually embodying a character for their time, and now seemingly, with the hindsight of time, seeming a little dated. And they did go into a kind of lighter vein, the way that kind of Flash Gordon was made kind of as a satire,
Yeah.
a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing for middle America, where there was turbulent times at the time. They wanted something somewhat comforting. The good guy always beat
Yeah.
the bad guy. You know, right always right. You know. made the criminals pay. So in that sense, I mean, reflective of the time, and I mean, he was iconic in the role.
Yeah.
But here we have my picked up recently from our locals, Retro Rare. Shout out to Sandy on that one. This is a beautiful 5x7 glossy glamour shot of my favorite Catwoman. Of course, that would be Julie Newmar. No disrespect to the other girls, Lee Merriweather and Eartha Kitt, but my fave all time, Julie Newmar. They each played Catwoman for one season. The show
I agree
ran 3
with you,
seasons.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, for me, it's Julie Newmar all the way.
She's my favorite as
yeah.
well.
Wow.
Oh, I'm
Sexy.
I'm jealous that you get into the Retro Rare before me and go through those bits.
Yeah, to tell the truth, I didn't even know it was for sale. I saw it on the wall. I guess you just sort of asked because
Yeah.
if I'd known, I would have probably snagged this off you before you had a chance to
And
take
the
it.
parable or lesson of this, boys and girls, is you know what? Never make an assumption. Never assume. You know what happens when you assume? He thought that this was a consignment piece. I asked him, are you doing this on spec or are you actually having this framed for somebody? No, he goes, Sandy found a few kind of things and he's having me framing them to put on the wall. I go, okay, how much you want? Hey, Sandy, $100? Yeah, man.
And-
triple matted UV. I mean, you could not get a better custom frame.
Triple archival matte with a UV glass. So, yeah, you can't get a better frame than this.
Two
does a great
signatures,
job.
both Julie, and she has a beautiful hand, and Catwoman right along the side there.
Yeah,
Beautifully positioned. Sometimes it can mar if they signed it in an awkward
Yeah.
place or have it very kind of like loose or kind of like I find unattractive. But Julie Newmar, she signed
Yeah.
this one great.
It would have been nice if we had an autographed picture of Adam West, but we didn't. But, I mean, it's better to do at least a somewhat of a Batman tribute than nothing at all.
Well, the man gets a shout out from me and from all the
sure.
dudes here,
Yeah,
I think.
Speaking of tribute, I just saw in the news today they're shining the bat signal in
in Los Angeles, yeah.
That's very cool.
Nice.
And all right, we don't get paid for this, but I'm going to do a plug for Retro Rare anyways, because not only does Retro Rare have some of the greatest collectibles, including books, movie memorabilia, music memorabilia, sports memorabilia,
Pop
but they,
culture in general,
but
yeah.
they also do the best framing job
Yeah.
in Mississauga anyways, maybe even Toronto.
I wouldn't trust anything from $5 to $5,000 on those hands, and that's saying something
Yeah.
because there's a lot of fly-by-night, unknowledgeable amateur
Operations, yeah,
framers.
yeah.
If they wreck something that's very valuable or priceless, you not be recompensated, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to watch with your expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Put it in the hands of a pro.
Yeah, so if you do need to get something framed and it means matter to Retro Rare Collectibles, if you're in the area, Toronto or Mississauga, you definitely want to take it there because you're guaranteed they're going to do a good job, and they will never do something that they can't undo. So you're never going to take like an original Star Wars movie poster there, and they're not going to glue it onto a board and ruin it.
Like happened to someone we know,
Yeah,
right?
it happened to me. I took it to Michael's and they completely screwed up. But I don't want to I don't even want to think about that. Bottom line is, we love.
preserve it.
They're going to preserve it, and Retro Rare always does a fantastic job framing.
And the guy's a great guy, too.
Yeah, just tell Sandy the dude sent you.
The Silver Age dudes. Anyways, Jose, that is a fantastic pickup. I'm jealous as hell. In fact, I don't think you're getting out of here alive tonight unless if you try and take that picture home, you're not getting out of here.
Hey, I brought hired goons this time.
Oh, hey.
Hired goons. Hey, Greg,
I
you're
get a
my
break.
hired goon. We got another friend here. He's over for the night watching us shoot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Greg. They're
There's
sitting
actually-
on the chair.
There are actually 4 of us here tonight, but he's not contributing, but there's 4 of us here tonight.
My bankroll gets a little relief. Someone else hired them.
Okay, so next we got Jose doing some bargoon hunting, but not just bargoon hunting on a lower class book. This is Shadow number 1, volume number 1, unless I'm mistaken.
No, you're not mistaken. This is a con bargain book.
Oh, yeah.
So for this segment, this is the Shadow volume number 1, issue number 1 from November of 1973. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Or so ran the tagline of the 30s radio show that this character is its
That's
origin.
Right,
Yeah.
from.
Now, the creative team is Michael William Kaluta. He did the pencils, cover art, and inks. And Denny O'Neil was the editor and script of the story, The Doom Puzzle. Great team there. Great team. The Shadow and his agents prevent an armored car robbery in this issue that was planned by a Wall Street stockbroker.
Like nothing's changed in 50 years. They're still they're still screwing us and stealing off us.
Yeah.
100 years. 100
Yeah.
years.
So this is DC's faithful take on the 1930s radio star, The Shadow, and it marks his debut, beautifully showcasing O'Neill's snappy dialogue and Kaluda's gorgeous artwork. The Shadow was originally a character found in pulp magazines in the 1930s and 40s. DC's first take on the character originated with this 12-issue series published from 1973 to 1975. The stories took place in the 30s and were set on Earth 1. This is a bargain book. Now, when I do research, normally I don't generally get specific about things. Sometimes I look things over. When I was comic book pricing and shopping and doing some research on the comic book realm, I remember taking a quick glance because I'd seen this book at local stores on their walls, priced sometimes 40, 50, 60 bucks. So I thought I'd just take a quick peek at it because I might find it at a con. What I remember from that thing was that all the arrows on that 12-issue one were all green and they're all going one way. So
yeah.
I don't know if there's some heat, if there's some spec talk, if there's been the optioning the rights or investigating doing some kind of thing with the Shadow. All I remember was those green arrows. Now, they had a $25 price sticker. I got 20% off, $20 Canadian, $15 US. This from the latest comic book realm breakdown, starting from a 9.4, it's a $100 book US.
Wow. That's like doubled since last year.
Yeah, 9.2, $97, 9.0, $95, an 8.5, $90, an 8.85, a 75.70, a 7.0, $55. You get the idea.
Yeah.
This is a nice condition book. I would say I'm going to do a straddle grade and be conservative grading. I think it's better than a VF, but not maybe quite a VF near mint 9. So let's say an 8.5. An 8.85 would be $90 US for 20 bucks Canadian. Man, you make that room noise. Can't go wrong.
You did good, and I think I told you the story once before. Me and Phil's the owner of Planet Hobby on Burnham Thorpe in Mississauga. We walked into a Salvation Army store, and there was like a box of comic books. He was looking through one box. I was looking through the other. He picked up a very nice copy. I would say probably a VF copy, and he paid $1 for it.
Of what? This?
Of this, yeah.
This exact issue for $1.
About a year at a Salvation Army.
Wow, now
So-
that's a deal. What can I say? I
Yeah.
paid 20 bucks Canadian. I still got a very good deal.
I can't even find comic books in the Salvation Army.
Well, you don't find them very often, but they do show up once in a while. So the moral of the story, guys, is if you got a Salvation Army or a Goodwill Center in your area, it's worthwhile just dropping in once in a while because you may find
A hidden gem.
a hidden gem. Yeah, most of the time you won't, but maybe one in every 20 or 30 trips. You might find
pays off finally.
It pays off. Anyways, that's a fantastic book, and Jose, I am also in the market for this book if I can find it at a good price.
Well, you know roughly what this book is worth. You decide what kind of grade you want to pay and what kind of price you want on it. But I would recommend a higher book grade, like a 9, a 9.2 at least. And you can probably find it for a reasonable price.
And how about you, Mike? Do you own this book?
I do not own this book, and I'm not really looking for it, but it is way cool. But
Yeah.
if I see it now,
I
now
love
that
it.
I've seen the show,
I love
Maybe
the
I
cover.
will pick it up.
I love the cover. I love the perspective, the train coming at you with the.
Oh,
So
it's a great
it's cool.
cover.
I just think it's really cool.
great cover.
Anyways, Jose, thanks for bringing it in.
Wow, somebody's getting in on the Inhumans boat bandwagon here. I see. I've been sharking up, and it looks like Eagle-Eyed Mike has picked up some good Fantastic Four Inhumans action and a nice 12-cent cover to boot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was again the 50% off sale
Wow, half-price sale. Good stuff.
at Boxing Week that you guys missed.
Oh, yeah, the one we
Right.
just exhausted, yeah. Okay, so you hit it, yeah.
I hit it, not specifically looking for the theme of it or anything like that, but just one that I didn't have in my run. Just going through my list and say, well, okay, I don't have that, but the price was killer. You got to look at this. This is easily well, I wouldn't say easily, but it's close to a 7. Fine, very fine.
I probably agree with that. And it's got the Inhumans, Black Bolt, Medusa there.
Oh, absolutely.
Who is the main villain here that they're fighting in the cover here?
I'm not sure who that dude is. Do you know?
No.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out and put it up on
But
the
you gotta be honest, it's
the
gonna
old
sound
screen.
pretty unprofessional. We don't know. He's probably some major villain.
Or
Well,
not.
come on. I'm just really looking at the numbers that I don't have and trying to fill
yeah,
my run.
yeah.
I know, you're the run guy.
Which is what I do, and you
Yeah.
come across keys that way.
But
you
anyways-
come across minor.
So is there any key
characters
factor in
that way.
this book or no?
There's no key factor. Nothing that popped out on like any screen anywhere saying that, oh, this is a huge book or anything.
Except
like
maybe
that.
the price. So how much you ended up pricing?
Okay, so here's the thing. I paid in US dollars $15.
About 15
You look
bucks.
at the
Yeah.
round in that condition, and you're looking at $68.75.
Yeah.
This is a Kirby and Sonat cover from February 1969. Right there alone. It's a book I want. I don't have it in my run. I don't know much about it. Just by filling in the run, I will learn
But yeah,
after the fact.
look at what strikes me, and I've
And
seen
it's
this
a great
stuff.
action cover.
What strikes me is the top left corner where you get the 12 cents with the number 83. Look at how white it is. So
yeah.
there hasn't been much aging, no oxidization to the cover. The printing is slightly off. Obviously, you can tell by the top with the world's greatest.
There's a couple of tick marks too,
But
and maybe a crease. Here
It's
and there.
it's held up very well,
A
very
crease
very
without
well.
broken paint. So I mean, you look at something like that and you go, I have to take that home for that
Mm-hmm.
price, man.
For sure.
How could you not?
No,
Yeah.
great cover. I love it.
Well, great addition to your run, Mike. Thanks for bringing it in.
Showcase 59. Take it away.
Yes, from December of '65, this book contains the third appearance of the Teen Titans and the second appearance of Wonder Girl. Now, if you got guys and girls out there are detecting a thread in Jose's segments this year, yes, we're highlighting second appearances, and a strategy that I sometimes obviously like to use because I've been burned a little bit, you know, when I was over eager and bought lower grade copies of first appearances just to have them, and we all make those kind of mistakes. For me, a case in point of that is Hero for Hire. I bought a VG minus VG copy. I was glad I had it, but I was never really happy with it. So again, an alternative to doing that is, okay, you cannot buy the grade that you would like for the first appearance, so consider a second appearance and get the highest grade you can.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
This book is emblematic of that. The young superhero group makes their way to the pages of Showcase, the legendary title that saw the first appearances of the Silver Age Flash, Barry Allen, and the Silver Age Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Showcase issue 59 marks the Teen Titans' third full appearance in comic books, as well as the second appearance of Donna Troy as Wonder Girl.
Wow.
This issue isn't yet noted as Wonder Girl's second appearance on Overstreet or CGC, but it is. Okay, it's after her debut in Brave and the Bold, issue 60 from July '65. Cover art by Nick Cardy, the return of the Teen Titans script by Bob Haney, in which the Teen Titans battle the rock and roll robbers, the Flips.
Cool.
Yeah, they use a surfboard, a cheerleader's baton, and a trick motorcycle to steal from the public and confound the Titans. This series would continue in February of 1966 in Teen Titans issue number 1 on their first headlining series from '66, a book I have. Yeah, current 46 Overstreet price breaks for the 8, 9, and 92 grades for this book are 103, 227, and 350 US for those grades, 8, 9, and 92. I feel mine, I may be hedging it a bit. I would like to think it's at a VF plus 8.5, but I think it's at least an 8. At an 8.5, it would be about $1.65, which is, I think, what the vendor is grading it at. VF plus, I maybe have a quibble about half grade. It might make a difference, but it's still a very nice high grade investment grade book for a Silver Age, which I think is anything above an 8.
It certainly is, Jose, and it is a beautiful copy. And
It's a beaut.
yeah, I wish I had one myself, but you're spending a lot of money lately.
I know, and that shocking pink cover, man, wow.
They're so much fun to read at that time period,
Yeah.
man. They're really fun.
Fun book.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic book, Jose. Thanks for bringing it in.
Hoy hoy.
Okay, now Jose's bringing it home tonight, and Jose in classic fashion is doing the old one-upsmanship, bringing us a 10-cent cover, Adventure Comics number, what's that, number 290?
Yes,
Wow.
from November of
You guys
1961.
are killing me with your 10-cent.
That is
cover.
going back a long
A
time.
long time. This is like up there in Silver Age terms. I think if you can get stuff about 1960 or earlier, you're doing very well. So, continuing, and then on our last segment on the theme of second appearances, what does this treasure hold on this title here? So, we have the second appearance of Sunboy and also his origin, one of the main Legionnaires there. We have also the second appearance of Brainiac 5, another major character there. We have the third appearance of Chameleon Boy, and as Paul mentioned, this is the last 10-cent Adventure Comics issue of the series, okay?
Wow.
So, ninth appearance of the Legion of Superheroes, two of them making their second appearances here, Brainiac 5 and Sunboy. The issue holds, again, the third appearance of Chameleon Boy. Sunboy also gets an imposter in this issue in a story entitled The Secret of the Seventh Superhero. Yeah, it was again published in November 61, and again, it's the last 10-cent issue in the series with a classic cover by Curt Swan. Now, Curt Swan, for you on the know out there, was an American comic book artist most associated with Superman during the Silver Age of comics. He produced hundreds of covers and stories from the 1950s to the 80s. He spent most of World War II working as an artist for GI magazine Stars and Stripes, and shortly after returning to civilian life in 1945, he began working for DC. Now, apart from a few night classes at the Pratt Institute under the GI Bill, Swan was an entirely self-taught artist. After a stint on Boy Commandos, he began just to pencil pages, leaving the inking to others. Initially, Swan drew many different features, including Tommy Tomorrow and Gangbusters, but he slowly began gravitating towards the Superman line of books. His first job penciling the iconic character was for Superman issue number 51 from March-April 1948. Many comic books from the 40s and 50s lack contributor credits, but research shows that Swan began penciling the Superboy series with its fifth issue in 1949. He drew the first comics meeting of Superman and Batman and Superman issue 76 from May-June of 1952. The two heroes began teaming up on a regular basis in World's Finest, starting in issue 71 from July-August of 54, in a story which was also drawn by Swan. Swan always felt that his real breakthrough came when he was assigned the art duties on Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, in 1954. In the view of comics historian Les Daniels, Swan became the definitive artist of the Superman in the early 60s with a new look to the character that replaced Wayne Boring's version. The composite Superman was co-created by Swan and Edmund Hamilton in World's Finest Comics issue 142 from June of 64. Swan and writer Jim Shooter created the story Superman's Race with the Flash in Superman issue 199 from August of 67. It featured the first race between the Flash and Superman. Over the years, Swan was a remarkably consistent and prolific artist, often illustrating 2 or more titles per month. He remained as artist of Superman when Julius Schwartz became the editor with issue 233 and 71. Among his contributions to the Superman mythos, he and writer Cary Bates co-created the supervillains Terra Man and the 1970s version of the Toyman, as well as the superhero Vartox. Writer Martin Pasco and Swan created the Master Jailer character in Superman issue 331 from January of 79. After DC's 85 12-issue limited series Crisis on Infinite Earths, and with the impending 1986 version of Superman being revised by writer-artist John Byrne, Swan was released from his duties on the Superman comics. Critic Wallace Harrison summed up Swan's dismissal this way, quote, "The most striking thing that DC did was to completely turn their back on the one man that had defined Superman for 3 decades.
That's tragic.
That's true.
They closed the doors and turned out the lights on the creator that had defined their whole line with no real thanks, no pomp, no circumstance. DC simply relieved Curt of his artistic duties on Superman. Curt Swan, who had drawn Superman in Action Comics, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Superman, and World's Finest, and who drew Superboy in Adventure Comics, who was the quintessential Superman artist of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, he just became another victim of the 80s implosion. Gone.
That's just terrible. Thanks for making me feel so good there, Jose.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, well, I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I mean...
So, the Mr. Nice Guy Award is DC Comics for our episode number 66.
You wish to think that this was a rare occurrence or something like this
67,
happening,
yeah.
but it's not. Yeah. Just to finish up, Swan's favorite story, one of the few that he both penciled and inked was I Flew with Superman from Superman Annual number 9 from 1983, in which Swan himself appears and helps Superman solve a case. Swan's last work as a regular artist on Superman was a non-canonical story, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, by noted and celebrated artist Alan Moore in 1986. In 1985, DC Comics named Swan as one of the honorees in the company's 50th anniversary publication, 50,
Oh,
who made
sure.
DC great.
Oh, sure, they're nice to him now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Douglas Curtis Swan died on June 17th, 1996, age 76 years old.
That's
Yes, so let's finish on the grading
Well-
for this book. I say it's a VF book. A VF book for an early Silver Age book is really, really nice. And I believe it's worth every bit of the $220, which is the Overstreet guide price right now for
Yeah.
a VF 8.0 copy.
Yeah.
And he's done the math right there, so he's telling. Now, I may quibble a little bit and say it's a VF minus, but if I submit it, which I'm thinking of doing and possibly doing, I will get it pressed and maybe I can get an 8 out of it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not often we get a 10-cent cover on this show, and every time we do, I get very excited. And not only do we have a 10-cent cover, we got a 10-cent Superman, well, Adventure Comics, but a Superman. This is absolutely spectacular. And yeah, so you think, and I have a feeling, knowing you, and I do know you pretty well, you will get this CG seed.
I will definitely
Yeah.
get the CGC
And I concur. I think it's going to come in
at a nice 8.0.
at an 8, between an 8 and an 8.5. The spine looks spectacular. Corners are sharp. Not a whole lot wrong with that book, Jose.
Not a hell of a lot wrong, and it's a nice investment grade book, one to put in the stash.
Hey man, can I read that first before you CGC it? or what?
No, you may not.
He wants to
Come on,
read
I
it.
just want to read it in the tub, man.
No, you may not.
In the tub. Okay, well, that's it. We're going to call it a night here, guys. And I can't think of a better book to end this on. And once again, guys, if you like what you saw, leave the comments because we like reading them and we will respond. I think we've pretty much responded to every comment.
We always do.
Yeah? And we will see you next time.
Hoy hoy.
Special guest Mike, yes.